Welcome. We're doing a practice called kind of a longevity practice or a high performance aging practice. And this is because I'm including a whole bunch of elements. All of the elements pretty much that are in this little tiny sequence are going to be very important sort of health indicators that indicate your capacity to walk upright and take care of yourself and to be fully functional and active. So there's certain joint positions, certain activities, abilities that you really want to maintain. And of course, if you can maintain abilities above and beyond these things, wonderful, but you want to make sure you maintain these particular things. So we're going to start this practice. If you want to kind of take some time for breath work, set an intention for your practice, please, pause the video and do that. And otherwise, we're going to get started right away. Okay? All right, guys, you ready? Okay, so we'll just start at the front of the mat, feet parallel, knees unlocked, feel your sliding surfaces. Energize down into your feet as though you're dialing them away from each other, knees dialing away from each other. And let's just maybe close the eyes and take a couple of breaths. If you're new to this and you want to try switching it off and on again, that's a great practice. Let's just take one more breath. You want to actually feel through the inseams of your legs to your pelvic floor and lower belly. Anchor your breath from the Mula Bandha and allow the lower ribs to spread as you inhale and exhale. And now we'll begin with arms to the sides and overhead. Let's take an inhale. Look up if that's comfortable in your neck. And then exhale, bring the arms down. Let's do that again. We're turning the palms up, looking up. And then we'll exhale and brings the arms down. This time we'll inhale, reach up. And as we come down, we'll let the knees bend a little bit, send the hips back. Keep dialing the legs away from each other as we come into forward fold. Inhale, take a half lift. Exhale, forward fold again. Let's stay in forward fold just for a moment. We're pressing down into the feet and energizing like we're dialing the feet and knees away from each other. Press into your feet. Beautiful. Now press down into your feet, send your heart forward. Let's come all the way up. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Look up, lean back. And exhale. Lovely. Let's take another big breath. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, all the way down. Beautiful. Let's come up to a half lift position. So we're still pressing into the feet and dialing the knees away from each other, carrying that tension through the legs to the pelvis. Now reach back with your tail, reach forward through the crown, draw your shoulder blades towards each other and bring your arms out to the side. If that feels like it's a little bit too much, feel free to reach the arms back or just keep the hands to the hips or change your position whenever you need. Arms are reaching out to the side, so we'll press into the feet more, reach back through the tail more. Inhale, reach your hands forward, turn the thumbs up as you do. Exhale, swim the arms back. Inhale, reach forward, thumbs go up. Exhale, swim back, thumbs turn down. Let's keep the arms as high away from the ground as it's comfortable to do. Forward and back. Keep pressing into the feet, keep some engagement in the belly. One more time, reach forward. We're going to pause for a moment, reach your fingers forward, tail back, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up to half lift, find your aligned spine. Exhale, fold forward, keep the legs engaged. Inhale, let's come all the way up. Reach through your fingers, look up, lean back, and exhale, hands will come to the heart. Beautiful, let's get our block. All right, so we're going to grab the block, put the block between your lower legs. Beautiful. So when we work with the block like this, we want to actually have the feet slightly closer together than the knees are. Okay, so we don't want this. We want to bring the feet close together. Feet are parallel. Okay, make sure your knees are unlocked. And now energize through your legs like you're dialing the feet and knees away from each other. This will make it feel like you're squeezing the block with your calf muscles, the inside of your calf muscles. You're going to also squeeze the heels towards each other. So you're creating lots of energy at the arch of the foot. So let's shift the body weight into the forefoot, lifting your heels a little bit and bring it down. Let's just play with that a few more times. So I'm really using this particular toe stand practice to help maintain foot function. This thing that we're doing with activating the arch of the foot, squeezing the heels together and lifting the heels away from the ground, really challenges the muscles that maintain the foot arch and the calf and ankle range of motion and also stability. So when we go into this is actually a flexed ankle when we're up tall. That is a very unstable position for the ankle, and so your muscles have to work quite hard to stabilize it. So this is very important that we maintain that. And of course, your foot arch. So now let's stay up this time, you guys. Spread your toes, root down, work on lifting the heels as much as you can. Remember, you're gonna squeeze them together. Squeeze the inseams of your legs too. Press, press, press. If it's possible, take a break if you need at any time, but you're gonna bend the knees. Now squeeze your heels towards each other, squeeze the block, reach back with your tail, keep your heart lifted. So also squatting is very, very important. This is kind of a toe stand squat. We'll be doing lots of other types of squats in this practice. So keep lifting the heels if you can, squeeze the block. One more breath here, and then we'll bring it down. We're gonna go into forward fold. Really nice. Inhale, half lift. Half lift, hold the half lift and lift your toes, okay? So for half lift, we want to really maintain our spinal position. Lift your toes, and then you can wiggle your toes up and down, just working on your toe and foot function. Beautiful. We're going to move the block and put your hands on the mat, step back to downward facing dog. So after doing some strong work with the toe stand, it's good to do some toe mobilization. So we're pedaling it out, and we want to, let's just do 1 foot at a time. Doesn't matter which one. You're going to roll across the joints of your toes. Okay, so it's kind of like you're wiggling your ankle in and out. Okay, so you're kind of bending at all the toes. Let's do the other foot. Bend across all of your toe knuckles, and then we'll take it in the other direction. So tucking your toes under and rolling across the toe knuckles. And let's do the other side, bend it under, roll across the toe knuckles. Great, and then we'll pedal it out. Now let's give some attention to the hands. Open the palms wide, press down into the pads of your fingers and energize through your arms like you're dialing them away from each other. Beautiful. You can also push your hands to the front of the mat. And then we're going to inhale. Let's come forward into upper push-up position, pressing into your toes. So important to keep creating and establishing and strengthening the relationship between your great toes, inseams of your legs, pelvic floor, and lower belly. So let's work on that now. Keep pressing into the toes, lift, press back, downward facing dog. And let's move back to the front, back to plank. Inhale, lift through the belly, press into your toes, make that connection, and forward into plank. One more time, press into the toes, lift through your belly, and downward facing dog. Really good. This time we're going to walk the feet up to the hands. Walk, walk, walk. Take a half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Dial your knees away from each other. And then sink your hips. Come up for chair pose. Okay, so we're just going to have the knees and hips bent for chair pose. In chair pose, remember, feet are parallel. You can have your feet apart if you like, or your feet together. But we always want to have the feet a little closer together than the knees because we're dialing the knees away from each other. So let's sink into our squat a little bit. It's kind of common for people to want to lift their toes up when they squat, or maybe even just the great toe. So let's see if we can keep the toes grounding, almost like a monkey foot activation here. If you still squeeze your heels together as you dial your knees away from each other, you're going to get lots of inseam activation. Let's hold right here, and then we're going to bring the left elbow across the right thigh, pressing down into the thigh, and then rolling your right shoulder open. And breathe. So the squat and the rotation are both very, very important to preserve hip function and, of course, spine function. So we're kind of putting these two actions together. So keep your breath super steady and strong here. Open up your chest. See if you can create more length up the front seam of your body. Yep, let your upper shoulders lean back slightly. And take one more big breath and push down into your feet. Inhale, straighten your legs, reach all the way up. And then exhale, let's take it to the other side. Okay, so now we're crossing the right elbow across left thigh. And now press down into your feet. Even here, we're dialing the knees away from each other. Now you're working with your spiral line. So allowing that rotation to happen through the spine, make it really active, okay? So you're really working with your muscles, working with the fascia. Keep your breath super steady. Remember, your body follows your gaze. So you're just gonna I'm just gonna spin you back like that. Beautiful. Let's take one more big breath here. Press down into your feet, rise up, reach through your fingers, all the way up, look up, lean back. Exhale, bring your hands behind you. Lace the fingers and energize like you're pulling your hands apart. So it's kind of like you're doing this. Okay, let's keep energized there. Separate the feet a little bit. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Keep dialing dialing the knees away from each other. One more big breath. And then sit down into your squat. Feet are apart this time. Keep pressing into the feet, dialing the knees away from each other. And let's just see if we can sync with that a little bit. Your hands are continuing to pull apart. And now, as you stay right where you are, let's see if we can pull the feet apart. So it's like we're trying to tear the mat between the feet. Pull it apart. One more deep breath here. Pull the hands apart, pull the feet apart. And then let's release. Let it all go. Beautiful. Let's just roll it up and shake that off. Beautiful. So now we'll try some single leg standing balances. Now we have active lateral lines and deep front line. Let's stand on the left foot and bring the right foot up. Remember, this standing leg, we need to dial it out. Let's just take the hand to the thigh and the thigh pushes up against the hand, and we'll raise the left hand up. And breathe. So single leg standing balances are super important for maintaining your ability to walk as you age. Did you know that? Because walking requires only one foot to be on the ground while the other is in the air. So if you practice single leg standing balances, all of the muscles and the proprioception that you need to accomplish walking are getting, sensitized. They're being maintained. All right, let's take one more breath, guys. Push. Create a little bit more height, a little bit more stability. And let's take that down. And we'll switch sides. Just keeping it really simple. Press down into your right foot. Energize like you're dialing the knee out. And then lift your thigh up, left thigh up. And breathe. And then you can take your right hand up. Remember, if you're keeping your feet and your hands active, it's going to create more activity through the arm, through the leg, into the trunk of the body. And breathe. Very nice. Let's take one more big breath here. And we'll bring it down. So that creates a little sensitization. And now when we do our touchdown action, we're going to have a little bit more success. So we're just going to put our block at the front of the mat. We'll first of all stand on the left foot. And you're about, not quite a leg's length, more like a trunk length away from the block. Okay, so all we're going to do is stand on the left foot. You can put your left hand to your left hip. Your right hand's going to reach down. It's just going to touch the block. Notice I'm keeping this leg really active and straight. And then we're going to come up. And we're going to reach down. And we're going to come up. Now you're going to see that there's a challenge for your standing leg to remain stable. And the default position is always dial out. And let's come up. Okay, because the knee is slippery. It wants to slip inward. And let's come up. Let's just do it one more time. And let's come up. Good. Let's shake out the standing leg. And we'll try that on the other leg. So again, these single leg balancing, and now we're challenging with movement. This is what we do in life, right? We bend down, we pick things up. We may not do it with the extreme grace that we're trying to do it with in yoga, but who says you can't have style, you know, in your 90s? So let's have the hand to the hip. Gonna be this way. So for standing on the right leg, let's have the right hand on the hip, but it doesn't really matter all that much. Okay, so you're gonna notice right away that knee wants to dive in. You're gonna keep dialing it out in the direction of stability. You can have a little bend of your knee, of your standing leg, no worries. And once again, I'm really being challenged for this morning. Let's do it one more time. It really helps to keep your lifted leg super steady and stable. All right, let's bring it down and shake out the standing leg. Really good. Okay, we're gonna bring the block back, and now it's going between the thighs. Okay, so I prefer to have it in this direction when I go between my thighs. Okay, so once again, lift and spread your toes, root them down. Hands can be on the hips. We're gonna lift up, squeeze the block, just up and down a few times. You can go fast, you can go slow. All right, and we're gonna lift up and then sit down. Whoa, maybe we'll sit down. All right, squeeze the heels towards each other, squeeze the block. Let's give it one more time. And then let's bring the heels down, take the block, and put the block between the hands. All right, let's actually put it between the forearms, okay? Between the forearms. So keep your legs nice and strong, separate them a little bit. All right, let's squeeze the block and bring the hands up and bring it down. And you can bring it forward. Let's bring it forward and up and bring it down and unfold. Squeeze. Press it up, squeeze, just work with your range of motion. There are uncomfortable corners here. You're really working safely. You're not loaded. You're just working with your own muscle contraction. So you can turn that on as much or as little as you want. Let's just do one more. And now let's hold it up and squeeze. Beautiful. Let's take it down and let's put it behind the back. Press the palms together. Press the palms together, and then we're going to step the right foot forward, left foot back. Press your palms together. If you have grumpy shoulders, feel free to bend the elbows. If your shoulders are reasonably happy, you're going to keep the elbows straight. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, send your hips back. Push your right foot forward. So the important part in terms of longevity of what we're doing right now is the arm and shoulder action, but it's also good to throw in some leg at the same time. Wouldn't you guys agree? One more big deep breath here, and exhale, folding forward. Press your palms, press your feet. Really good. Let's take a big breath and come all the way up. That is really surprisingly challenging for the arms, so don't be surprised by that. It's all good. Let's try it again. We'll do the other side. Okay, step your left foot forward, right foot back. Press your block with your palms. Inhale and exhale. Keep pushing through the left foot to send the left hip back. And as, kind of work with your own shoulder range. If it feels better to have the elbows bent, go there. Press, press, press. Fold forward as much as your body wants to, respecting your edges. And now push down into your feet. Inhale, let's come up. And exhale, let's release. We're going to put the block down and pick up the strap. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of pulling on the strap because there's not a whole lot of pulling in yoga. So first, we're going to go through our shoulder range of motion. Okay? All right, so you really have to be kind to yourself, okay? We're going to keep the wrist straight, and please adjust the length of your strap as you need, all right? But we are pulling this whole time, okay? Take a break if you need. Inhale, let's bring the arms up. We're bringing the arms back behind the body, so if you need to adjust the length of your strap, just let it slide through your fingers. You bring it all the way down. You're pulling on the strap, so pull on the strap, pull, 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 and take it up and over. And again, let's do it with our breath. Inhale And exhale. Pull on the strap. Inhale, let's bring it up. Exhale, bring it forward. Good, let's do it again. Inhale, open up. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Stretch the strap as much as you can. And let's bring it up. And bring it forward. All right, we'll do one more. Just keep it to shoulder height. Now pull on the strap. You're going to actually have your chest pretty open, but you're going to pull, okay? Pull on the strap. Inhale, and exhale, turn to the right. Keep pressing into your feet. Organize your legs like you're dialing the knees and the thighs away from each other. And breathe. Squeeze your shoulder blades towards each other. Now let's, instead of pulling on the strap, we'll see if we can make some slack. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and bring your hands closer together. Active, active, active. And let's pull on the strap again. Come back to the front. Let's take a little rest. That's long enough. Back into our position. And let's take it to the other side. Good. Let's keep those legs active. Beautiful. So you're pulling on the strap right now. Let's switch it up and we'll squeeze the shoulder blades together. Try to create some slack. Reach your arms for each other. Reach, reach, reach. And go back to pulling. Let's come back to the front. Reach the arms up and let's take it down. Now let's do it one more time. And we're going to slide through that sticky area back here. And let's just see how that feels. Should feel a little bit smoother. Pull on the strap. Lovely. Let's just do it one more time. Pull on the strap. And let's bring it forward. All right, let's put the strap down and we'll just take the arms up for sun breaths a few times. So just sort of feel the residue of that. So we were pulling, we were at our end range, so that helps us have more range of motion, okay? Exactly that. So let's shrug out the shoulders now and we'll take ourselves down to the mat. Let's inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way down. Inhale, let's take a half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step your feet back. Let's take that upper push-up position. Bring the knees down. Now ensure that your shoulders are over your wrists rather than over your hands. Okay, let's take a nice big breath here. Look forward. Exhale, bend your elbows back so you can test it out. You can bend just a little bit and then push back up. Bend just a little bit. Keep the belly toned. Pull it up toward the navel, or the navel up toward the spine. And press it up. You're dialing it out. One more time, guys. Press it up. And now bring the body all the way down. Slowly, slowly. And then from here, we'll press up. So dial the hands away from each other. Inhale, press up. Exhale, bring it down. Make sure you're pressing into the top surfaces of your feet. Inhale, dial the hands away from each other. Just strengthening our shoulders. This is very important to maintaining your shoulder capacity as you age. Press it up. And let's just one more time. Press it up. Good. Let's take our hips back. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. All right, downward facing dog. So now in downward facing dog, let's take the hands a bit wider so they're about as wide as your mat. Okay, you're going to bend your elbows. You're still dialing the hands away from each other, but the elbows are going to go out a bit because your hands are wide apart. Okay, so you're going to touch down the crown of your head and push the floor away from you. Touch down and press. Touch down and press. Shoulders strengthening. And one more time. Great. Let's pause right there. Back to downward facing dog. Now, this time in downward facing dog, let's push the hands toward the front of the mat. Of course, we're still dialing the hands away from each other. Press, press, press. And wonderful. Let's come to the tippy toes, make a little bend in the knees, and hop your feet through to come to seated. Beautiful. So now we're going to practice something very, very important, and that is getting up and down. Okay? So getting up and down without the use of your hands is a very strong health indicator. Okay, so studies show that if you're able to do that, it's very unlikely you're going to die anytime soon from any cause whatsoever. So that's how strong a health indicator it is. So ideally, you would just get up and down, you know, without using your hands. There's different ways of doing it. So we're all gonna just figure it out, okay? Okay, so let's just take a strategy that a lot of people will be able to do, and that would be come to kneeling first. So no hands. You can just bring your legs around to the side and just come to kneeling. And then one foot, other foot. Let's go down the same way. So take your legs down, down, and then sit down, and you can have your legs forward again. Okay? Other way, you could put one foot down. This takes a bit more range of motion and lean forward. Is that a possibility? Not as much, that's not as accessible. Okay, so for me, I would just open my knees and swing myself through. Is that a possibility? So we're just working it out. How can we get up? How can we get up? It's also good to try and figure out how would I get up if if I broke my leg? How would I do that? So these are just things you can play with. It's like a little workshop that I do at home every now and then. I try to figure out how many different ways. If this leg wasn't working, how would I get myself up, like that. So this is something I invite you to practice with your students. Other thing you guys could do, I'm not going to do because I have a mic on, is roll up and down and then come to standing. Hands can be behind your knees if you want, but that's good. Yeah, that's good. Now you stand up. Yeah. So that is, it's just not something we think of practicing, but that's great. Yeah. And she just figured that out right now. So this is good. This is good. Okay, so I often do this in my classes. We just spend about 5 minutes and we figure out how to get up and down. So it's actually kind of fun and usually good for a laugh. All right, so I do recommend that as part of a longevity, working on high performance aging, getting up and down off the ground. Another thing we'll work on here that's really important is maintaining head and neck rotation. Okay, so we're gonna just go into a seated twist. So we'll bring the right leg in. And you don't have to do it in a seated twist, but it's just gonna feel good right now. Let's bring the left arm around the right leg. And then you can just let's go into an active twist first. So we'll bring the arm back and then tent the fingers. Now, let's not sort of get competitive about how much we push ourselves. Let the body tell you how far it's able to go under its own power. Staying nice and tall through the spine, using its own power, its own muscles. And then wherever you land, work with that, work with a deeper breath. Okay, deepen the breath, let the breath massage your vital organs, your diaphragm, your heart and lungs. And we're gonna work on eye movement while we do that. So if you're turning your body to the right, you want your head turned to the right as much as possible. Okay, so let's just see if we can get our head there. When you say something like, just turn your head as much as possible, then you eliminate the need to reach a certain point. And everyone is just going to go as far as they can go. And that, I think, is the best way for people to practice this. So once you have your head turned like that, you're going to close your eyes and you're going to learn something about your eye movement, okay? So let's turn our eyes, the eyeballs, your gaze, as far as you can get them to go into the right corners of your eyes. So I want you to go so far that it feels kind of jittery and slightly uncomfortable. So turn your eyes that much. It might even feel like it's a little bit of a strain on the muscles. That's perfect. And then keeping your head exactly where it is, you're going to turn your eyes all the way into the left-hand corner. As far as they'll go, keep your head exactly where it is, but you're turning your eyes in the opposite direction and hold. Great. Now, in order to come back to the right, we're going to go upwards. So in an arc. Inner gaze goes up, 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 and down to the right. Then you're going to go back to the left, but you're going to go down in an arc and up to the left. Let's do it again. Up, arc into the right-hand corner, down, and try to move so that you're able to notice where that gets kind of jittery. Okay, one more time. We'll arc up and over into the right-hand corner, and then we'll arc down and into the left-hand corner. Now bring your eyes straight forward, and you're going to notice how comfortable that is. And now bring your head back to the front. You can open your eyes and unwind the body and shake it out. Let's try the other side. So bring the leg in. Make sure you put something under your sitting bones so your spine is straight and your pelvis is not spilling backward. Then step the foot across. Wrap your arm around the leg and then actively twist back. Make it active. Keeping tall through the spine, active through the core, widen your breath, and make sure your head is turned as far as it will go to the left. And now, as you remain here and breathe, let's turn the eyes as far as they'll go into the left corners of your eyeballs, of your eye sockets, I guess is a better word to use. So as far as you can, test it out. And then keep your head exactly where it is, but turn your eyes into the right-hand corners of your eye sockets. Now, in order to go back to the left, you're going to rise up and into the left corner. Go back to the right by going down and up into the right corner. Upward arc into the left corner. Downward arc into the right corner. Be precise. Arc it up, left corner, arc it down, right corner. Hopefully you're noticing that you're really working with the edge of where your eye muscles are comfortably able to take you, because we don't use these peripheral edges very much. All right, let's bring the eyes into the center. You'll notice like, whew, that's relaxing. Take your head back to the front and then unwind the body and shake it out. Great. All right, now we'll rock down onto our backs. Knees to chest, hands on the shins, and just rock your body from side to side. Hold your body still and allow the head to roll from side to side. All right, let's allow the arms to stretch out. You guys might want to stagger just a little bit. So Kathy, stay where you are, and then Monique and Angie can scooch down a little. That should work. All right, let's all bring our knees over to the left side. Left side of the body, good. All right, so now staying quite relaxed, head on the floor. Inhale, press both arms back into the floor. So you're pressing your shoulder blades down. The legs are going to stay relaxed at this point. Good. Now big inhale, press back. As you exhale, take your right hand to meet the left palm. See if you can allow your head to remain on the floor. If you find your head just can't stay on the floor, you could put something under it, a pillow or a low block or something. All right, let's inhale and open it wide. Good. Press back for an instant and exhale, close it up again. So now this is quite an interoceptive practice. You're going to keep the eyes closed while you do this. Inhale and open. Just allow your body to fall open into this rotation, fall back, and then exhale, bring palms together. Notice the level of comfort for that upper spine movement. Let your gaze follow your right hand, okay? Let's open it up. Open it up. Gaze follows the right hand. That's beautiful. And close it up. Bring palm to palm. Great. So now we'll open it up for the last time. You're going to press back. A little bit more active for this one. Press back, look back, and let it go. Great. Let's gather through the belly. Bring the legs back to center. Good. Drop them over to the left side now. Inhale, press back a little bit. Exhale, close the hands. So left hand comes to right hand, and the gaze is going to follow the left hand. Inhale and open. So you might notice quite a difference from one side to the other. So just work on now relaxing. So guys, go ahead. Exhale and close, inhale and open. So just gives you a little bit of feedback for, neck stiffness, upper back stiffness, and see if you can use your breath and just even use the pressure of the floor in this position to relax a little bit more, okay, as you open. So we can get a lot of stiffness in the neck and upper back. It's important to keep this mobile. So we do it actively with our things like seated twists, and we can do it in more of a relaxing, sort of working with the nervous system in something like this. So we'll just go open. This next time you're open, just press back. So, and again, there's always a level of relaxation that comes after a good strong contraction. So we'll use that for a moment. So contract and then just let it go. So again, we're not reaching into range of motion when we do that. We're kind of falling into our range of motion with the support of the ground beneath us. Wonderful. So this is really good. Gather through the belly. Come back with your feet on the mat. All right. Keep your arms just in a comfortable position. They might want to be just down by your body. And we'll just spend a few moments doing some pelvic floor activation, okay? So, guys, just find your feet on the floor. Feet are parallel. They can be a little bit apart. And you don't have to be able to touch your heels or anything specific like that. So we're just going to work with pressing down into the great toe and the great toe mound. Pressing into your heel a little bit and dialing the knees away from each other. So as you remain here, pressing into the feet, this is a subtle action. Let's just work with sensing the inseams of the legs to the pelvic floor. Good, and we'll just take a few breaths. So as you press into your feet, with an inhale, let's just allow the spine to remain neutral, but as we exhale, we're just gonna pull the navel back a little bit. So we kind of flatten that lumbar curve a little bit, and then as we inhale, we'll just go back to neutral. Okay, so exhale, just tuck it in a little bit, press into your feet. You're trying to make a connection, establish a connection neuromuscularly. So just do that a few times. It's very quiet work. All right, so now next time you exhale and sort of posteriorly tilt your pelvis very, very slightly, you're gonna press down into your left foot, feel a connection between your left foot and your pelvic floor, and lift the right foot just a touch, just a little touch. You just want to take the weight off of it and then put it back down. Okay, center yourself, feel, press down into your right foot, engage from right foot to your pelvic floor and lower belly, lift your left foot. And it's just a little tiny lift. And let's bring it down. So now you can decide, you can go right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot a few more times with your breath, because you will find that there's a stronger connection the more you do it. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, and this is actually quite a bit stronger, you could try lifting both feet. Okay, so engagement at pelvic floor, you've got to really have that awareness at pelvic floor and the posterior tilt to the pelvis slightly, and just feet up and down a couple of times. And you can play around with this in multiple ways. I'll give you one more variety. So let's all have our feet planted. Actually, no, let's not have them planted. Let's bring the knees up just above your hips, and so about a 90-degree angle at the knees. Okay, so you're not going to have your foot to core connection in the same way. So I want you to imagine energizing the feet like you are standing on the floor. So keep your feet active, maybe even pull your toes towards your knees. Okay, and posteriorly tilting the pelvis ever so slightly so you can get a stronger pelvic floor activation. And then let's just slowly lower the right heel down, touch the ground briefly, and then you can bring it back up. And let's do the other side. Great. So let's go back and forth a few times. Now, you could, again, up the challenge by bringing both feet down at the same time. And it's really about, can I sense that I'm maintaining my pelvic floor engagement, or does it feel like I lose it at some point? So you always want to work from the place where you can maintain that activation, and you will widen your range of control if you practice that way, okay? So you're just working as, right up to that point. When you start to lose it, that you're done, and just back up and, try it again, and you will eventually widen the range of control, that you have nervous system control over that musculature. All right, let's go ahead and put the feet down and just relax. This is such like intense inner work that it can be actually kind of fatiguing. So just let it go and give yourself a little break. So we're going to actually end our little practice here. You guys can pull your knees into the chest if you want and just kind of rock it out. These guys are going to take Shavasana, but I just want to say, these are just some ideas. There's many, many, many ways that we could improve capacity over a long term, improve, our chances of maintaining great functional capacity as we age, and then being able to actually enjoy our movement life as we age. These are just a few ideas for you, and just including some really important things. So I'm just going to outline them quickly. Toe standing of all kinds, multiple ways of squatting, very important. All kinds of single leg standing balances are great. Things like touchdowns where you come up and down and you try to maintain stability, those are really wonderful. And then anything for strengthening the shoulders and maintaining range of motion there, getting up and down from the ground, and then maintaining neck and spinal rotation. And then the eye movement is really important too. If you're always locked on, eyes forward, you start to lose those edges, and those are actually really important proprioceptive information for your nervous system. Okay, so I'll see you 30 years from now, and you will be robust and having a great movement life, and that will make me really happy. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye for now.